Thanks.
He's in the studio and that. This is, let me just introduce you to people. This is Dr. Aboo from Galaxy for We FM. Digital plans. This is an elder that's been on the movements for reparations for years now. Galaxy's like 35 years old. If I'm correct, I'm not sure if I'm correct exactly. Quote me on that.
Yeah, man.
But yeah,
next year we're gonna celebrate. Next year we're gonna celebrate the 40th.
Oh wow! See, Galaxy's older than me. I'm 30. I'm 36. I'm 37. So yeah. So yeah, as you can see, people got questions for reparations. Someone asked. Let me deal with that question in a minute. Someone asked earlier, who should pay for reparations and how they're going to pay for reparations. That was one question. Next question was, for reparations to become a thing, to happen, political and social power, no in-house fighting, and credible representations. Yeah, anyone who's got questions, just leave them down there. But I'll let Aboo start delivering a message about reparations and what it means to you, and what has the fight been, and how long has the fight been going on?
Well, it's just simple, you know. If you bring your car to the garage and ask them to fix it, sometimes them put all a BMW bonnet by your Mercedes. But if you ask them to restore it, it's a different thing. They have to put the original thing back, ain't it? So you see, reparation is about restoring. You know, we got to move to restore ourselves, because the European fix us good, fix us in such a way that we don't even want to be ourselves. You know. And the first form of reparation is we got to move. Is we got to move towards restoration, because some of us would like to fix some money.
I'm not going nowhere. I can still hear you. Yeah, I'm just getting my charger.
Some of us would like to fix some money in a Barclays Bank and Lloyds and all of them institutions, because a lot of us Africans are addicted to white privilege. We become a junkie to them. So when we talk about reparation, we don't realize that maybe it's not in our lifetime, maybe it's in the generation to come. And that is what we should work towards. Prepare for the generation to come. And don't get into the same colonial narrative. You know, we have to get out of them thing there, and just, because all we look on, you see, I am into collective wealth. I am not into this individualistic, some of them now call themselves entrepreneurs. Entrepreneurs, to me, is the biggest con amongst us, because they come amongst the collective, and when they make money, then go and live an individual life. That is not collective blood, you know? That is not reparation. That is ripping off the nation. You know? Reparation is about the young and the old coming together. Reparation is about the young helping the old, you know, the strong helping the weak, the rich helping the poor, the literate helping the illiterate. That is full reparation of us. It's not to point finger and say I'm better than you. You know? Remember, you know, the man certify us. A lot of us walk with a A4 paper and think that we will certify. We even certify and reject even our own family. So a lot of us will reject reparation because we don't know the meaning of it. And they will talk from a womb energy. You understand? They will talk from that womb energy. But you see, you see,
Yeah, I can hear
yeah,
you. I can hear you.
yeah. But you see, so we have some of them who get confused in the classroom. Them reject the womb, the class womb. They reject the class womb and substitute it for the classroom and think that they know best. But you don't know best.
Facts.
Anyone think that them know everything is a fool blood. Every day I learn something. I learn from the young, I learn from the old. I even learn from the smallest creature, the ants. So we have to
Yeah.
humble ourselves and look at reparation. Look at reparation within ourselves and realize that we have been wrong. We have been wrong as a nation of people and still being wrong. And this wrongness is in such a confusion that when we look where we should have turned the oppressor, we did it. Are we stand up there, stand guard? Are we did it? You know, see, right now, they move the corner shop. The corner shop, they in a number 10, because sometimes, first time, a certain people they control the corner shop. So, what we are getting is the corner shop effect, man. When the European move out of situation, and just put the nation brother there. And we all did it now realize that is we got to do for we. Them a do for themselves, and we got to do for we. So, the works we are do, yeah. For our daily bread, and leading us into conviction to deliver us to evil. For evil is their kingdom, their power, and their glory, and they shall burn in hell forever. Amen. Budum, all the time.
Amen. Nah. What can I say to that? No, that's this is the type of lives people need to hear, and and the mediums as well. People need to hear it on. So, because like a lot of people in the live might not know about Galaxy, so now you know about Galaxy. Follow Dr. Aboo, get the link. You know what I mean? And I'm sure a lot of people, like, even to see you on more podcasts will be an honor. Like, I'm sure someone like Rare Talks will probably love you on there as well. Rare Talks podcast, get in contact with Dr. Aboo, because this is a powerful elder that's been doing the work. And what could you tell people about the 1st of August and what happens on the 1st of August?
Well, I said, I'm just a supporter to it, but the organizer, them can really put it in even more better than me, you know? Like Sister Jendai and Esther Stanford, Brother Delani and those people, you understand? But the little I see and know, it encouraged me to support them. You know what I'm saying?
No.
What I'm saying, I am not my brothers and sister keeper. I am their supporter. And if I can't support, then I walk away. I am not no damn prison warden. I ain't keeping nobody. You understand? So we have to change the narrative, blood. We have to change the narrative, or we look after one another, or we think about one another. Because I am a child of that pioneer generation, the one who come here and put back the great in Britain.
Yeah.
You understand? And anywhere I go, if I go to Africa and I even do a radio interview, I have to quote those people. Because if it wasn't, what I'm saying that we are talking about reparation, but if we was to take a leaf out of that generation book, that generation have one of the largest real estate in this country. No other black community tap that generation. The house where some of us are living, if it wasn't for them, we wouldn't have no Philip blows need. You understand? You know? When you talk about unification, then people that bring unity of us to us, because today we have a Jamaican mother and a Barbadian father, vice versa, right through. That's the greatest unity. If it wasn't for that generation, the whole Caribbean would be bankrupt by now, because it's them send them little Jamaican National Western Union and all of them things there. We have to be real and know that, oh, I am a child of one of the greatest people them I ever know, each. I may read about some great people, but I talk about where I know. And this is what we lack as people in Britain. We love to import other history, and the history, the primary source, the right in front of us, we reject it. So we will reject reparation because, you know, we like to climb the ladder instead of step by step. We like to jump it, blood. You understand? So if it wasn't for that pioneer generation, can remember in a age, when those people come here, they were young people like you. So why you think them? So why you think them fighting young people? Because all the young people look like them grandmother and grandfather, and then people that can't tolerate that, blood. So we have to understand that I, as a elder, I support young people to the fullest because I was young myself. I was young myself. You know, just like how I support you as a young man, because only is the next generation, blood. You know, only is the tip of the arrow. I and I is just the feather that guide, you know, into the right target. I saw it have to be, blood. You know, I not dye my ear. I not put no line in it, and I not trick nobody. This is who you see, Aboo Ratata. And I not use no artificial thing to enhance myself. I just saw it go.
No, facts. Yeah, you got to keep it 100, like what you said. You're the feather and the arrow, because the reason why they concentrate on our youngers is because they want that gap to remain. Because once it comes together, then the youngers will have that feather. But right now, the feather for the youngers is the oppressor. So the oppressor's just leading them in the direction that they want them to go to, instead of our elders leading our youngers into the right direction. You got the enemy leading our youngers with a check. That's how they lead them. They just give them a bigger check than the elders can give them. So who's the younger going to go to? The person with the biggest checkbook. That's what it's come to now. That's why when you listen to a lot of rap nowadays, it's all about, I don't respect the elders, I don't respect the elders, and that's what they want. No other race does this. Do you think the Chinese youths will be talking about disrespecting their elders? Never. The Indian youths, never. It's only the black race that has that type of energy towards their elders or their elders or whatever you want to call it. You understand? Because like you said, they fear the youngest. They don't want the youngest to have the same mind incorporated that like my grandfather had when he came here. Like my grandfather came here, he came over on plane because he didn't want to come over in the Windrush because he's not about the sea. So he saved his money. He's one of the only 2 black people on the plane, came here, learned plumbing, followed the white man around, learned plumbing, then sent for his wife, built up the family. You know what I mean? Like, left a nice something for everyone when he passed. Like, they don't want the youngest to have that mindset. Like, my granddad retired from me was 45. You get me? Like, he patterned himself up. You know what I mean? So they don't want the youngest to have that sort of guidance. That's why I say, like, even with rap, that's why every other music, rock and roll, you see old white men still doing rock and roll. Every other genre, but with rap, they don't know olders rapping because they don't know jewels to be passed down. They don't, because they know they give an older rapper money, he might do something for his community. You understand? So they just, so that's why they focus on the youngest so much, even in foot. Sorry, got you. Sorry.
It's all about, you know, our young people are genius, you know, my brethren. They are genius, you know. But the system turned them into a genie and locked them into a battle. The battle of a contract. And they don't go them have 3 strike, you know. And we have to blame. Because if we don't invest in our young people and support them, then Michael will go out in the morning and Michelle come back in the evening. And then we complain, so how comes them flip? Because we don't check the one whose contract is following.
Yeah.
And this is how we have to be real. What I'm saying, you know, we are from a generation that come together to make the family them prosperous. But some of the children from that generation sell them out, blood. Most all of them were up on all these honors lists and all of them things. They want to tie to the post and whip. Lot of them did dead on Coronation Street yesterday. You understand? You know, you know see it. And this is what I'm saying. This is why we are in this situation. Because we glorify the oppressor and don't even glorify our ancestor. And then we sit around and blame the young people. I don't blame the young people and for nothing. The young people them just come here see the blood. It's because we are afraid to point the finger on these little great tone friggin' adult and said, wake up and stop being a damn coward. Because what I'm saying that young people bring change in all the movement. From the Marcus Garvey to the Martin Luther King to the Malcolm X, are young people is the engine in that. The elders them just guide them into the right thing. But today, a lot of these elders, they don't want to be elders. They want to be young boys and have young girls and then complain that them prostate have fucked them up or something, you know, sorry the language and anything. But they said, we as African men have to take responsibility and protect our woman. Simply meditate them, protect our woman, because it is our responsibility to protect our woman. Our woman right now is the biggest threat. You understand? But we don't fully understand it. And many of the women them don't understand it themselves because they want to be independent. You know, sometimes you hear them talk about, oh, them are liberate. What are you liberating from? There's never a time when we African man have our African woman them in a no clutches that them have to, you know, this is a European narrative, the suffragette. You know, see it. You know, the European woman them have a serious problem with them man. You know? But them pass it on to some of us now. You have some black woman, they don't want a black man, but they want a blouse not vibrate and all of them things there. Idiot business, blood. You know what I'm saying? Idiot business. We have to be real. Get out of the artificial thing. They don't want no child, but they have like a handbag dog in their yard. What kind of blouse are? This is not the home. This is not the home of vibrate. It's the classroom. You know? Because some of them certified to be an idiot. Some of them have degree, 90 degree away from themselves. And some of them been mastered by somebody else, but not mastered by themselves. We have to be real, blood. You know, when some of them are called education, is deterioration. Constant headache, blood.
Facts. No, yeah, no, that's real. That's real. And what was I gonna say? What would be a good? And you said reparations is about repair, reserve. Was it reserve? Restore, not repair. The financial factors of it. What would be a good way to distribute that, or for us to handle it if it did come our way? Because me personally, I just land quickly. I don't think it should be an individual thing of money in each and one's hand. I think what would be more powerful would be for money or whatever, or materials to go towards the infrastructure of the diaspora and the motherland. Because if the infrastructure was great, the plumbing, the electrics, we wouldn't need to be here at all, not one bit. If the infrastructure, imagine Africa had a train tracks like the UK and Japan. Why would we be here? Or plumbing? There will be no reason. And like Jamaica, the roads is like a death trap. You know what I mean? Imagine Jamaica roads was like the UK. We'd be laughing. No one would want to be here. You understand? So I think instead of money in individuals' hands, if we had money going towards just the infrastructure, as in the plumbing, the electric, the roads, the train tracks, we'll be good as gold. You know what I mean?
That's, you see, the mind. You have to get that right. if you're gonna put something in your pocket each, make sure that there's no hole in it. You understand?
Yeah.
You know, I'm not into the individual collecting. I'm into the collective because we have a plan for the generation to come. The seed, the fruit that we are eating today, somebody plant that seed. So our job is to plant the seed for the next generation. And I'm not fret about no money and them kind of things because I just passing through blood. And there's no brings or no bank manager follow us to the cemetery. You know, so we have to be real, you know. What I inherit, you know, and I can pass to my children, them and my community, that's my legacy.
Facts. Facts. No, that makes sense. That makes sense still. So like I said, everyone, man, this is Dr. Aboo from Galaxy FOE station, the only brainwashing station. Like, when I was in I hate saying it like that. When I was in what place can I say? I don't like saying when I was in a dark place, but when I was going through stuff in my life.
Yeah, when it was in a limbo situation, that's how we have to address it, a limbo situation.
Yeah, when I was in a limbo situation, I started listening to Galaxy, and it was Kwaku and Dr. Aboo show I was listening to the most at the time. And I was listening, then just helped me get out of that great place. You know what I mean? So I learned so much listening to that. Then I ended up on the station for a year. I think it was a year and a half or a year. I think it was a year. And I learned so much. Like, it's like media school for me. You understand? That's why you put me in front of a camera, I know how to handle myself. Like certain things. I remember Dr. Aboo come in the room and say, "Don't say kids again. You can't." and certain other little things, That's why people have tried to catch me out on camera, and they're like, "Raw, you can handle yourself on camera." That's why I think when the camera comes on, I just, you know what I mean? Or when I'm in any radio situation, whatever, I know how to handle myself, because that was a great school of education for me when I went on Galaxy station, plus pin the app, pin Dr. Aboo's app. Then you can it right now.
But the way how I treat is the way I would treat my son, you know.
Yeah. How is he? I ain't seen it for long. The one
it's good, man. Phenomenal.
The young one.
Phenomenal.
Yes.
Yeah, man, it's good.
Yes,
man. It's good. It's good. You know.
I remember him still.
The whole thing about it, you know, if you fail, I fail, blood. You know?
Yeah.
It's one thing. I know that. I don't believe that. I know that. You know? Them say it take a village to raise a child. You know? How old is the child of the village? From the womb to the tomb, blood.
So it don't stop.
No, it doesn't stop. How can it stop? You know? We are brought into an environment where you hardly anybody tell anybody howdy. But when you go in the Caribbean and Africa, you hear people pass there and said, "Good morning, good evening." You try to say that in your son, if you don't mind, and things say you're an idiot. You know?
Facts.
So
facts.
We are just a natural people. I try to live in an artificial world.
Someone else wants. Let me make this person come. I think someone's asked you a question. Freestyle thoughts. I think it's a good person. So let's see. And see what questions they got to ask or whatever as well. Yeah, if anyone wants to jump on, feel free to jump on. If you want to ask
I want to come up to say one thing. What the brother says here, I always said there every time. I always rephrase this and say, you know what? Every time I see one of my black brothers or sisters out here dropping down in any form of land out here, I feel like my legacy is going away. Just said there, you get me, hit a nail on the head to make me know That's a fact. Every time you be out here just going on individual, like, oh yeah, I'm still made it. Now, every time I see a black brother drop down, that could be one of the pieces, one of the links of the chain that we're making out here that's going to get us long endurance to get where we need to get. You get me, as a community, people. So, you know.
No, respect, bro.
And I like how you like just been putting it down. You get me? Like, I just been sitting back here. It's like I've been eating so much food. You just gave me so much food when you were just talking. I was just edifying it. You get me? So, yo, big up yourself, doctor.
Yeah, man. Give thanks, family. Give thanks.
Right, H.
Now, do you know, you explained it freestyle. Do you know what? That's when I used to listen to when I was in the grey place I was listening to Galaxy. It was just food, bro. There's food. Every show was just like,
yeah,
it's filling up my big head, bro.
And that's what I'm saying, man. I'm just there and I'm like, yo, I have to say facts. I'm thinking, how much time I'm gonna say facts? You get me? Like, yo. But at the same time, yeah, let me tell you this. I'm happy to see this. I'm happy to see when brothers are doing the right thing and brothers saying things that make us now can stand up on authority now and stand up on a better foundation, a better blueprint. I'm all for that now. I'm all to see my black brothers and sisters and the other brothers and sisters out there. But first of all, we have to look at self, innit? Our self hasn't been getting nowhere, but now we in the days of knowledge is increasing, and like the brother says, the youngers now need to take up on the charge, because not for the older generation is gone past them. Some of the older generation has got it, but not for the older generation missed the mark of what they're meant to be doing on this earth plane. You hear what I'm saying? So it's about time, and I'm happy because every time I hear you brothers speaking or anybody like yourself speaking, it gives me more of a spirit to stand up and know that I'm not going to look back from doing the right thing out here, never going to look back to the wrong thing. You get me? So bless up you lot self. Thank you for saying. I'll be in the comments. All right.
Now, respect. Love for coming on, bro.
Yeah, man. Bless up.
Love for coming on. Spreading that love there, bro.
Hi, good evening.
Good evening.
Respect.
Being a political animal myself, everything Elder has said, brilliant. Now let's get down to brass tacks. How did the Native American do it? Oh, hold on.
I think her phone's ringing. But yeah.
How did the Native American do it? Yeah, it's looking at other peoples and how they get some form of reparations. Not everyone's going to be equal. Not everyone's going to get the touch that Israel gets, because we know that's a different scenario altogether. But I would suggest also educating people, not just in self-betterment and carrying themselves in noble ways, in ways that are central. Family, the core is family values, ethics, morals, so on and so forth. Bringing forth, prosperity through businesses, through an education that is viable and, how can I say it, productive. Going to university and coming out with a degree and not being able to use it is not productive. So we need to talk about East India Tea Company, Lloyd's insurance and underwriters, who owned the ships, who benefited from the free labor. Then the psychological damage, because when you strike at a people's roots through their cultural roots, their history, their language, their dress, their songs, their dance, their food, and you strip them away from that, and you leave a shell that it doesn't know if it's coming or going, who prospered off the slavery? It wasn't the poor white man that got sent to Australia for a loaf of bread that he stole. No. It's Lloyd's, Tate and Lyle, East India Tea Company. So you're going to go up against big guns. If this fight is going to be real, you're going to go up against big guns. So you need big, intelligent guns. You need young lawyers. You need financiers. And you need people that aren't going to run off with the takings, fill their own pockets and leave everybody else hanging.
Mm.
If partner money in the early 50s and 60s helped build the Caribbean community and help them buy houses and establish businesses, yeah, if there was that trust amongst people, why can't it be again?
Yeah, that partner thing, I was talking about it the other day, like my generation don't have that like that. You know, like I remember my mom, my granddad, all them people, they was all in partners. You understand? And this generation's not like that. Everyone's about, like Dr. Aboo said, this entrepreneurship. Everyone wants to be the one now. It's not about together. It's about, no, he's the one in the family, not together. And thing I say to nowadays, what I've noticed nowadays, there's no value in helping family. There's no clout in helping family. There's only clout in helping strangers. So if I'm online and I feed a homeless man, there's clout in that. But if I'm online and I give my cousin some food, there's no clout in that. You understand? So people just...
as well. Yes, Papi.
Pardon?
I'll say yes, Papi.
We have to look for them at age, you know. That's why I go back to that pioneer generation, yeah? Many of them never certify, but them work very hard to send their children into the institution to gain certain knowledge that then can enhance. If some of them did come out and enhance the partner principle, if in a mind they could have credit union out there, you know. But you see, them rather go and work for Lights Bank and Barclays Bank and say that they're in a position. When you give up your purpose for your position, it's only you to blame. What I'm saying that the children, not the grandchildren, the children of that generation fail them rapidly. The truth I'm telling you. And you can see the behavior of them now, even in the court, fighting over the dead left, with that generation dead left give them. What I'm saying that there's a certain children of those people that need to bring to the whipping pole and whip them ass back into some sense, because they give up their purpose and settle for a position. And even some of those that call themselves professional and all of that, they should be ashamed of themselves to know that that generation suffer so much and then can't even come together to erect a building in the name of that generation. This is what I'm saying, you know. I said, and I will say it again, may the Almighty strike them dead for the ungratefulness. You understand? If tomorrow they hear that Battersea Dog Home needs some money, they will even go out and draw out the last pound. But their own people, they sit and ask certain questions. This is what I'm saying, my brethren. I don't blame the young people. I blame my peer group. My peer group. You understand? That decide said Brixton is not good for them no more. I rather move to Kent. I know them they in a Kent are fret because they can't even play their reggae music down there.
For real.
We have to be real, blood. We have to be real. It's only like idiot set of people gonna move away from the collective and go live essentially isolation, and then I come with petition. Can you sign my petition? Because them are racist with me down there. Should I kill your blouse not? You know, idiot. I wanna bring on children into danger. I wanna bring on children into those wicked environment, knowingly that you're not safe there, but because you want to get go along to get along. We have to be real, blood. We got to be real. I have a lot of family members that I tell them, don't knock my door because you're addicted, you're a junkie to whiteness. And you know, if a crackhead come in my house, then me I tell her, don't fall asleep because if they might take out the television and sell that blouse meat. And they are no, you know, they are no different. They are no different from a crackhead, blood. When African people are addicted to white privilege, they will sell their family. Remember that.
Re-establishing values. Re-establishment of values.
That's it. But a junkie don't have that. A junkie, remember, a people without principle and discipline is powerless. Within those two words, you have the IP, hip. That's why when you go to a celebration, you say hip, hip, hurrah. You bestow the power. And if you don't have no discipline and principle, you're powerless. They don't have no discipline in themselves. You know, they don't have no principle in themselves. If they may have discipline in themselves, an African woman who now walk down the road with a Brazilian ear upon her head, she wouldn't cover her grey for a blonde. This is mental sickness, Aya. You know, see it. And if you talk about reparation, that's that's not the full reparation. That's fixing. That's fixing. Some of us think, some of us African today think that we are more German than African. We are more British than African. You understand?
Yeah.
But as I said, I born in this country in 1958, and I never feel it like an Englishman. Never. You understand? You know, I know if I'm born in Africa, you know, Africa born in I. Simple as that.
No, I hear you. I hear you. And a lot of people that are reaching like my age now, like mid-30s, they're all saying the same thing. This don't feel like home. Like, I don't want to be here no more. Like, a lot of people are screaming that, but it's just, we get so comfortable, or like you put it, Dr. Aboo, even myself, I'll be honest, addicted to this lifestyle where the white man, where the system has made us feel so safe.
Complacency.
Complacency. We feel so comfortable. We don't want to let go. We don't want to let go of the white man's hold. We don't want to come from under his boot, under his shelter.
Not just,
even me myself, I'll be honest, even me myself, because I don't feel to be here no more, but to take that risk, because I know if I drop out of work here, I'm getting benefit. If I need a roof, I'll get hostel. If I lose my flat, I can get a hostel from on the homeless. But I know if I go Africa, like I was talking to a Nigerian woman the other day in Tesco, she said, you kids are so lazy here. Even in Nigeria, if they got no feet, they're dragging themselves to work. Man with no feet's working. Like, you have to be on your stuff when you're back home. That's what we're scared of. So they keep us in this comfort here. They keep us in their bosoms, yeah, to make us feel comfortable where we don't want to leave. So much young youth my age got this thing of, we can't leave the UK. Like, we're trapped. It feels like a trap, like a dome over. We feel like this is the best place in the world because of the English pound. But I got a couple friends that I meet. One of my friends I meet. Where's that place where they're shipping people to? Where they're talking about
Rwanda.
Rwanda. One of my friends I moved to Rwanda 4 years ago. He's thriving. He said it's amazing. Is that Daryl?
Let me tell you. Let me say it, right? I just come back from the Gambia with a young person. You know. And if we don't walk with our young person, how we expect them? You know
what
I'm saying? There.
Brother, with the flats.
Yeah, man.
I know him still. I know him. Yeah, I see that video. Yeah.
And these are the things then where it's we have to walk with our young people then, man. If me walk down the road and see the police them stop a youth, me go make some inquiry. You know, we can't just walk on by. You know, tired of that song, you know, if you see me walking down the street, just walk on by. No, we can't bother with the Warwick song no more. You know? We have to know, we have a responsibility here. We have a responsibility. We have a responsibility to look out for those elderly across the road. Help them across the road also. You know, when
sorry to butt in, I don't need to move away from the Gambia thing real quick. I want to keep you there for a second. What type of opportunities, or what do you need to thrive in Gambia, and what sort of setup would be perfect for someone to come there? Say like a 5-10 grand to set 20 grand. What's a good business to have in Gambia to go to start up there?
The best thing is to come and do a feasibility study for yourself.